I'd like to introduce you to something called the Iverson method, which is a technique for learning and recalling vocabulary. As we go through our translations, you're going to find that there are a lot of words that you're going to be looking up in Google Translate, and the real trick is going to be keeping that new vocabulary. Remember, we have the forgetting curve, which is really rather aggressive. So we want to try to retain this new vocabulary that we're attaining by doing our translations. So what I recommend you do is this method called the Iverson method. Now, we've all heard of flashcards where you have one word on one side and the answer on the other side, and this is kind of an extension of that principle. Let's have a look at this next slide. Basically, on one side of the card, I don't have one word, but I have 6 words. And these I took at random from the first translation that we just went through. So I have to check before first, to have dinner, the reservation, and again. Then on the other side, I have the answers in Spanish. Now, the technique that you need to do is, instead of looking at one word, then checking if you were right or wrong, you have to go down the entire list and do all 6 words before you flip the card over to see or to verify if you were right or wrong. So what happens is that mentally it forces your brain to hold each of these words in your consciousness longer. And that simple process helps to increase your retain rate of new vocabulary. So again, don't just do one word and then flip over to see if you were right or wrong. You have to go through the entire list. So you could say, okay, to check it was verificar. Before, I can't remember what that was. First, primero, to have dinner, cenar. The reservation, can't remember what that was, and again otra vez. So you've done your best to try and recall the group of 6, and you can go up and down at trying to recall a bit more time, but when you feel that you really can't get the word, that's when you flip over and check all 6 answers. So you can see that it's the same principle as flashcards, but with one significant difference in that you're having to do groups of 6 words at a time. And this works surprisingly better than just doing one word per flashcard. As time goes by and you do more and more of these translations, you're going to find that you start to build up quite a collection of these Iverson method flashcards. So you can shuffle them and go through them. And the whole point is to not lose this new vocabulary that we're going to be getting through these translations. It's very important that we try to hold on to that vocabulary. So you can spend 20 minutes a day or half an hour a day or whenever you have some free time just to shuffle your cards and to go through at random trying to recall batches of 6 words at a time. Also here, I filled out all 6 slots, but from that first translation, maybe there was only 2 words that you needed to check, all the rest were fine. In that case, you would just put 2 words here and then go on to the next translation and you would get more words from that one. So don't feel that you have to fill up every card in every translation. It's only for the words that you weren't sure of or that you had to check in Google Translate that would actually go on these cards.